Okay. Well, I'm Ray Price from Legends Photography in Crown Point, Indiana. I got into the business because I was managing my son's little league team, and I did go to school for photography, even though I wasn't in the business. Seeing how the guys were doing the pictures, thought I could do way better, and I started focusing in on that. I've been doing it now for 34 years, but it's been a real enjoyable career. We shoot about between 15 and 20,000 kids a year. They range anywhere from little guys, even as little as 3 years old, up to probably 18 years old. Youth sports is our main type of work we do, and we do. I would say in Indiana, because and everybody's saying their weather sucks wherever they're at, but in Indiana, we try to encourage indoor photo shoots. So I would say probably 70% of our photo shoots are indoors, and the balance outdoors. So we get a little mixture of both. Typical picture day was, going back way back now. Picture day order forms. That's the way we always did it. So we would contact the league, schedule the picture day, see how many forms they needed. We'd mail or deliver or ship the forms out to them with instructions. Contact them before picture day, help them put together a schedule, make sure and encourage them to get the forms out to the coaches so they can get them dispersed. Picture day would come, we'd have our crew arrive, we'd set up tables. We'd have a photographer, and each photographer would have an assistant that would pose and help herd the teams around, and the photographer would write the picture numbers on the forms, and get the photo shoot finished, go back to the office, and then the next day, one person would be opening up the envelopes, making sure they're paid, calling the bad credit cards back, saying the credit card didn't go through, dealing with bounced checks, not enough cash in the envelope, what have you. So, and in the meantime, we'd also be going through the images and making sure they look good, they're cropped right, picking the good ones, cropping the team pictures, and making sure everything correlated with the envelopes. It was a lot of work. And in days when we're doing 4 jobs on a weekend and maybe 3 or 4 nights that week, we would start accumulating piles on our tables and just running a little more and more behind. The process now with Candid is, again, reaching out to the league, scheduling picture day, without needing to worry about envelopes or anything like that. I just asked the league to get me a roster with the players' names and the parent contact information. And when the leagues find out they don't have to do anything really more than that, there's no handing out of pictures or picture forms or anything like that. They love that. They're more than happy to give me the roster. So then I'll go through and build a spreadsheet with the rosters, upload it to Core. We'll print our little QR cards out and organize them by the teams. And then when we go to the photo shoot, we use those QR codes. We use the scanners, and which speeds the whole picture day process up tremendously for our photographers and eliminates errors. Yes, we photograph every athlete, and we do 3 poses. And each photographer has a poser. And that's one thing I got to say with this. It's real important. Posers have a lot more play in this whole picture now, because they're quite important to keep the photographer on track, keep them going at a quick pace. So each photographer will have a poser, 3 poses, and then they move over to our team photographer, and then he will do a team picture. He'll do a couple team pictures depending on the age level. If they're younger kids, he may do more than 1 or 2 team pictures. That way, expressions and things like that. And then one thing we always were requested years ago, but really couldn't pull it off well, is goofy photos. So we would also, at the end, he would have them do a goofy photo. And we sell a good amount of those, but they just have so much fun doing it. It's like their very final moment of their picture day is kind of an uplifting, fun type of thing. So I think it works in more ways than just selling them a picture. The only editing is done by our photographers in the field, making them visible or invisible. If the team photographer doesn't like a picture, he'll just shut it off. If our individual photographer sees that one of the kids' eyes blinked, they'll just hit the the button on the tablet to turn it off, and we don't have to worry about it. And that's as far as we go. Then they get uploaded while we're shooting, and parents get them in, God, it seems like awfully fast. And we're done, unless we're doing something like a virtual groups or something a little out of the ordinary. There's really no reason when we get back to the office to have to go over anything. I try to staff it according to how my league is, what they're comfortable with, they're used to in the past for the length of time of their pictures. Sometimes they're scheduling around their games. So you have to do so many kids per hour because they're going to play games. If it's an evening shoot, we start at 5. They usually want to be out of the school gym by 7:30. So I'll staff as many stations as we need to keep up with their expectations or what they're used to when it comes to picture day. But we have found that when we're doing the multiple poses, especially the more we get into it, the more the posers are used to it, the photographers, we can easily do your average 3 poses to a player and have them in and out in 1 minute. So it really hasn't added a lot of time to what we schedule for a team. And in fact, the more we do it, I think we're sticking. It's taken us the same amount of time as when we just did. We would do 2 pictures with the envelopes. We'd always do 1 picture and then the second picture, just in case they blinked or in case the camera focused funny. Where we don't have to do that now. They just get the 1 picture. So multiple poses are definitely the way to go. Well, I'll speak for every photographer out there. It was an uncomfortable feeling. Being in the youth sports business, you're always used to having the big payday when you leave, so you could pay for your staff and this and that. So there was some anxiety there, and I did foray a little bit in online sales. We did actions pictures years ago and some other stuff in the past, and pretty dismal online sales. So we were always the thumbs down, like no way. But when I found out about this system and I was getting feedback from so many different places, I thought, well, let's give this a try, and decided just to go all in with it. The older I get, I want to keep this business more simple. I want more free time so I can get some of my life back. And I decided, let's do this and go into it all the way. And it's just blown my mind how well it's worked and how much pressure it's taken off our staff in terms of anything after the shoot's over. Let alone the parents, they just go crazy. I did not think that getting their pictures where they can see them minutes or an hour even after they're taken would be such a big impact on people, but it truly is. I've never had so many compliments, not only from parents but from board members with a new system. So I know just the positive feedback I've gotten from our customers and clients, I know we're in the right direction. I know this is where the future's going. The profit margin is good. It's better than I've had ever with envelopes. With envelopes, people would, of course, they're not seeing the picture. They're picking the cheapest package. And what I love doing is taking the order, how many orders we get and what it is per order, and getting the average of that. The average order is way up. I think our average order now is like $37 to $40, where with envelopes it was just over 20. And even, I know Candid has this great, they call it sales per photograph, where they're averaging out everybody you photograph is divided by how many dollars in orders you get. And I think we're somewhere around $20, $26, $27, which again is higher than my average order when 98% of the people were putting money in envelopes. So it's really, really worked out well. The parents' response has been great. I've had more emails from parents saying how much they love the new system. I've had communications with our board members on the league saying they just love our new system. Just last night, we were doing a football league in an area that's a little far from us, and I've kind of marketed out to them through the years and never had a lot of success, but we have been doing their football. Well, as we were packing up after a photo match ViewFirst shoot last night, guy walks up to me, and he was the president of the local baseball league, and he wanted us to sign him up for pictures for spring for his baseball league, and that was without just the fact that the parents were getting their images, seeing it on their phones, and the buzz that was created from it. He didn't never asked what's our prices. He never asked what our turnaround time is. He never asked what free stuff we give to the league. None of that stuff. He wanted to sign us up there and then because people love seeing their images on their phones. And I never would have believed that was possible, but hey, here we are. It's the real world. God, there's so many good features about it. But for one thing, logging, you can actually, what image belongs to what kid because the photographer's not scribbling chicken scratch trying to write it on the envelope, me included. And so that's what, no envelopes. The league loves not having to hand out envelopes. I love not having to order them and pay for them. And again, in most cases, we get back to the office after the shoot, we're done. Nothing else to do. And the whole system with the marketing aspects of it, it just works. The whole system just works, and I'm thrilled about it. Well, I think that if somebody was to go right to ViewFirst, it wouldn't be as, believe it or not, wouldn't be as big of a learning curve because pretty much so much is already done for you. When I started last fall with Candid, I was doing online pre-order and just manually IDing the images and that. And there was a steep learning curve, but you got to stick with it. I mean, this is kind of like Core is kind of like Photoshop. It's pretty deep. It'll do so many things, and there's plenty of help with a chat or a phone call. You just got to kind of stick it out. So there's a bit of a learning curve, but once you get through that, man, does it pay off. Just go with it. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just use this system and just have faith. It's going to work. The system really works. And I can understand why it's scary to do it, to let go, but it's worth it. And again, the parents are getting younger every year. These people are more and more used to getting their school pictures online or they'll get their groceries online. I mean, so this is the way it's going to be. And I think this is the way you need to go because our future customers, this is their wheelhouse. I'll tell you, you can't pry the tablet out of my cold dead hands if need be, because I'm not going back the other way. This is how it is.